like to tell you a story of two men whose dreams to honour their older brother led them on a journey to restore a Lancaster Bomber to fly once more in the memory of Bomber Command. You too can join the family's journey, and with your help they can achieve this remarkable endeavour. Listen to the incredible story of Fred and Harold Panton.
I was the youngest of a family of 8. And I was the youngest and I was 10 and a half when Chris went missing, you see. You're not old enough to comprehend what it meant to the family. Mother and father never ever let me see them shed tears. They kept it away. They didn't want me to see them shedding tears. No.
With losing a son during the Second World War, Fred and Harold's father didn't want anything more to do with it. He didn't want to go and see the grave, he didn't want anything like that. He didn't want to know anything more about Bomber Command. It hit them very hard, it hit the whole family very hard. So there's an awful lot that happened within the family after losing Chris that made it very raw, really, all of the war and Bomber Command. There was times when Fred wouldn't talk about Bomber Command at all, wouldn't talk about losing Christopher at all. He wanted no more to do with it. What really triggered the interest back in it is when Fred's father asked him to go across to Germany and get a photograph of Chris's grave, which he duly did in the 1970s, returned, got the photograph framed, and then his father passed away not too long after. And that really rekindled interest in it. So it's been very much an up and down story, shall we say, with the family.
Fred had been to Germany to my brother's grave, I think it's 71. And it was soon after he got back that this came on the market on 1972, which Fred went to the auction. I didn't go, but we didn't manage to get it. The gentleman who bought it said he knew we were interested, obviously. He said, if I ever decide to sell it, he says, you'll get the first shot, first opportunity. Which and he kept to his word, he said, I've decided I haven't achieved what I was hoping to do, sort of thing, with it, and I'm going to let it go, and do you still want it? So make your mind up time. So that was 1983, that was, September 83. I think the 7 Queen Marys brought it, and there's only half the hangar up then, and it just about filled all half the hangar.
It is part of the family now. It's not just a job, if you like. It's our duty to keep the aircraft and the museum going, and it's kind of now bred into the family. I was 1 when the aircraft came here. I was sat in my mum's arms as the aircraft came in on trailers. So yeah, it's bred into us now. It's like a part of the family rather than just an aircraft. So it means an awful lot to us both in the memory of Bomber Command, as also in the memory of what my grandfather and great uncle have achieved.
I wish that people knew how much I want to fly, as it fatigues me just sitting here on standby. I am old, no longer rusty, and my Merlin heart yearns for more, for the days when I was free, not stuck behind that hangar door. Will you come and look at me, and listen to the tales of my history? Even with my bumps and scars, can you hear my beating heart? Soldiers look at me and say, I am beauty, I am pride, as I cherish all their memories when I flew by their forefathers' side.
Well, it's the public who's supporting us, or we keep going. It's a mutual thing, I think. The public love it. I mean, you've only got to say Lancaster and it speaks volumes, doesn't it? And every time I've watched it, and I've watched it hundreds and hundreds of times, nearly never, it always gets me. Every time. Never without, never fails. Well, it's just there. You know, when you're getting up, it's vibrating, you see. When they get to a certain speed of the engine, it gets you. It was everybody, I think. You know. There ain't another sound like it, you know.
It's amazing to see how the Lancaster emotionally affects people. And when you turn around after a taxi run and you see tears running down people's faces because of the emotional attachment they have to it, whether they had a family member that flew them or not, just what a Lancaster means to people, it's incredible really. I think that's why we're still here, why we're still operating, because of the emotional attachment. So it's an honour to be able to please people in that way really. And we certainly wouldn't change the way we operate with the aircraft, in that it's probably about the only Lancaster people can really get hands-on with and get on board, really appreciate for what it is, rather than having to stand 10 or 15 feet away from it and not really be able to smell and feel what the aircraft's about, and get closer to their family members and relatives that operated them. It's strange really, because a lot of people ask me what it's like to operate a Lancaster, that kind of thing. And to be honest, I know nothing other than it. So the question fires back of what's it like not to, really. So yeah, my children will grow up in the same vein, I guess, of not knowing anything but having it here. They will certainly be told of how special it is. That isn't lost on me, shall we say. But equally, there's about a similar level of responsibility with it as well. I wasn't pressured into joining the business and carrying on where Fred and Harold have worked, and equally they won't be. It needs to be a natural progression really, with an interest to do it. It's been amazing to hopefully one day see her fly, see her take off. It's an increased risk of course for the aircraft, but it's going to be particularly emotional for myself, the family and the team here, because of what we will have achieved, but also what it would have meant to Fred to see it, to Grandad to see it take off. I always say he'll have a better view than I will, but yeah, it's there's many things I'm sure that were going through my mind at the time, and many tears down the face as well.
Do you ever look up at the sky and wonder what it is to fly over the clouds up above while saving the country that you love?
To support the project, please visit www.linksaviation.co.uk.